It's about a grandfather that lives in Gib, and he has a grandchild that is at university, as tends to happen in Gibraltar. So the grandchild's in London. And when the grandchild comes back to visit, the grandfather is always drawing maps of London from his memory of having been evacuated during the war. But they're maps of London from his recollection of World War II. So obviously London has changed a lot since then. And his grandchild kind of tries to convince him that London has changed, but he's kind of refusing to believe that that's the case. So he very much believes in London as a London of his memory. And from that, then there's a lot about Gibraltar and how Gibraltar has changed, and maybe a bit of romanticism and a bit of being unwilling to accept the future and what's happening.
I mean, you do write a lot, or you have a fascination for Gibraltarian identity, for our cultural traits, our language. Why the appeal? A young person like yourself as well.
I didn't actually, when I first started writing, so I went to university to do a creative writing degree, and I wasn't really writing about being Gibraltarian. And I don't think it's because I wasn't proud of being Gibraltarian or anything, but I think when you belong somewhere, you just maybe exist as that thing. And I think also we all have a bit of a chip on our shoulders that we're not important in some way. Like we have our National Day, and somos muy bonito, and it's good. But I think then when it comes to culture, when it comes to art, I think sometimes we do defer a little bit to other people to tell us who we might be or what is good. So I wasn't really writing about being Gibraltarian. I was writing lots of other different things. And what I used to get feedback a lot from my tutors at university, and in particular, I had one tutor, Bernardine Evaristo. She went on to win the Booker Prize. So it's quite nice for her to give me advice. It feels like a bit of a privilege. And she said, no, you need to write about you. Like you need to write about you. There needs to be, she's like, you're writing well, like it's all good technically, but there's something missing. And I was very resistant to it, but she gave us a project once to write about home, and I wrote about kind of based on my grandparents a little bit, and it just clicked from there. And I think it's been an interesting journey.
So we get to the final, and you become the overall winner, let's say.
Yes.
What would that mean to you as a writer, and to you personally, I suppose?
I mean, it's amazing. It's to have a prize that I think is quite a prestigious prize would be great. I think it will hopefully lead on to other opportunities for me as well. So I'm always looking ahead. I think some validation maybe as a writer. Writers always need validation, even if they tell you they don't. There's prize money, which is not a bad thing. So that would be quite nice as well. And I think also just as a Gibraltarian to receive a Commonwealth Prize would be amazing, because we sometimes exist in this weird place that we're kind of parts of the Commonwealth, but we're not really on our own terms. And so I think it would be amazing in that regard as well.